Hey everyone, been a minute, but welcome back to a pickup video. It is a pain getting the phone in a right spot here. It's going to probably fall at some point. I got a lot of pickups here, as well as a cat that's now bugging me. So, lined up, you'll see before you the Astro City Minicade and the Astro City Mini Arcade Joystick. The Minicade, most people consider these consoles toys, and I have no problems with that because for me, this is my favorite arcade cabinet of all time, and I will never ever own one, and I don't think I will ever see one again. So, in person, I mean. So, I'm just going to get it, and that's what it's going to be. I have my other minis actually hooked up to TVs at all times, just for convenience. It's really fun, especially like the PC Engine Mini, it's already plugged in, turn it on 2 seconds, I'm playing a fun shooter or whatever. This does work great, aside from, or I should say aside from, Virtua Fighter 1 has some frame problems during replays, but other than that, it's fine. Oddly enough, it does not want to work with a lot of joysticks, but one it does work with is the arcade stick. However, what I really enjoy about this is it works with my Mister setup, and I'm actually updating that right now, which is why I thought I would pop in here and make a video real quick. I love this stick. Now, it does a very odd thing in that it doesn't use X input, which is, I believe, the current standard. It uses direct input, which means some games it just won't work properly on. So Street Fighter Anniversary Collection on Steam, it just does not work. I've tried a workaround where you install an Xbox 360 controller emulator, and I have had no luck. However, King of Fighters 98, King of Fighters 13 on Steam, it works great. Consoles will not recognize it, so PS3, 4, 360, and the Xbox One. Oddly enough, like the PlayStation 3 or 4 did for a second, then it stopped. But it seems to be all down to the fact they didn't use X input. However, some people have just removed the PCB out and put a Brooks in there, and it's fine. But I'm using this solely as my Mister setup. It works great with every single game. I haven't noticed any lag whatsoever. It's sandwall parts. It's just the right size for my lap, just the right weight. So I really, really like this. There's another version with pink buttons, which is like the 2-player model. Not that you get 2 sticks, it's just that's the name of it. But I believe only Sega of Japan sold that. But that's an excellent purchase. I've been really enjoying that one. This bundle here I'll show. I just recently got these in. You'll notice one stands out. So this is Limited Run Games Lucas Arts Pack, which is a bunch of PC games they re-released. I don't know if I regret buying these. These are some of my favorite PC games of all time, and so I really wanted them. But you'll see that for some reason X-Wing looks completely different. I'm not sure why they did that. Here, let me get a better angle of all that. There we go. And you will see here. Now, I tried to film this video earlier, and I just ran out of time. So in a hurry to put everything up, something fell and dented in the box, which stings. But Dark Forces is up there with my favorites on here. However, TIE Fighter is my all-time favorite. So if that would have been damaged, I would have been upset. But I definitely was bummed about Dark Forces. Jedi Knight's the one. If it was going to be damaged, I wouldn't have minded because of all these. That's the one. If I'm going to make a ranking system, while all excellent games, it would not rank nearly as high as those. X-Wing and TIE Fighter are just classics. And I actually played TIE Fighter. I had an eye infection in high school. I played TIE Fighter while wearing sunglasses at night in a dark room with numbing drops in because I couldn't stop playing it. That's dedication right there. So let's go with some forum purchases. I mentioned last time that I hadn't had good luck with forums, and that luck picked up a little. So I got the Sega Saturn version of Resident Evil. Has a touch of fading on the spine, the manual, but not too bad. Came with a spine card, and I think he wanted $20 for it, which was very reasonable, given that shipping rates from Japan are still very expensive. From Japan, and kind of contradicting myself, I picked up Soul Hackers. Now, this is getting fan translated at the moment, so I wanted a physical version to go along with it. This is one of the very, very few Japanese sellers. I don't know if it was hit Japan or not. They only charge $5 shipping. Now, of course, that was like cargo boat, and it took a while to get here, but that's way better than the 20 to 30 people are wanting these days. And like I said, that's solely in anticipation of the upcoming fan translation. Pretty awesome purchase here. MVS card of Aero Fighters 2. Now, because of the Mister, I hadn't intended on picking up any more MVS cards, but there was a guy on a forum. He had a handful of games. Many of them got snatched up. I grabbed King of Fighters 95 and Aero Fighters 2. And at first I thought I kind of made a mistake because in going through my collection, I already had King of Fighters 95. And as luck would turn out, when I went to boot it, it does not work. It has a crosshatch test screen, which I've read is due mainly to dirt. I've cleaned that thing 100 times. Erasers, isopropyl alcohol, rubbed it with sandpaper. I've resoldered bits I thought might have looked weak. Nothing works crosshatch. So his version works great, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, the one that broke has never been opened. And so there was it looked like corrosion in it. So I guess that's what happened. But that's the only MVS card so far. Fingers crossed I've had damage with. But his worked great, and he wanted $100 for both, which since shipping it was like $20 from overseas. I think Aero Fighters was $50 and King of Fighters is $35. So I want to say that's the price, and the rest with shipping is for about $100 even. And that turned out to be a really good deal for Aero Fighters 2. It goes for much more. Plays great. English label, which you can tell by the yellow is original. Let me try to adjust the camera. It does not want to stay put. These have been such a pain. So in going through games that were going up in price, not really going up in price, I should say, but Bubble on streams are recent videos, and a few where he's done live streams. He talks about game prices. He follows them a bit more closely than I do, and yeah, PS2 and PS3 are kind of going up there, and I decided to snag and it was White Knight Chronicles. The problem is I have purchased 2 bundles of these. Now, they weren't expensive. It was $17 and $20 for each bundle. Now, the first one has been fine. It was missing the manual in the first copy. I knew that. The person had put that, and it came, the conditions just fine. What I really wanted it for is the second one, because it contains all of the content from White Knight Chronicles 1. However, the first one I got had a puncture in the spine. Something went completely through the plastic, completely through the art. It was just a big hole. I don't know what. It wasn't like a hole punch through it. It looked like something fell. And on this one, there's fading on the spine at the bottom. I'm not sure why this game is proving so elusive for me to get in really good shape. What's odd is if you buy it, White Knight Chronicles 2 by itself, people want 25 plus, but these bundles go up for 20 all the time. I've kind of given up. Unless I can find someone on the forum who's got it in good shape, I'm not going to try again. That's just out of sheer irritation. This is one I had been wanting for ages. Didn't know it was going up. It hasn't gone up too much, but it had gone up about $15 since I last looked. Was Stella Deus for the PS2. This is an Atlas strategy RPG. I did get another copy of this that came pretty damaged. It has a flip cover, and the cover the guy showed was the side was damaged, but he kind of said, "Oh, the other side's fine." So I thought, well, that's okay. I'll just turn it around. No loss. I mean, it's in one sense it'd be damaged, but in another sense it's just the back of a cover. No, it was much more damaged than that. It had it was torn. It was actually peeling off some parts of it. So I bought this one in much better shape. This seller was very accommodating, sent some photos, understood when I kind of explained, hey, I'm buying this again. Will you help me out? So really appreciate that. But to flip back to crappy eBay purchases here, I was buying some used PS1s to do the X-Station mod, which I could never do. I mentioned that in the previous video. I sent it to Dragon Horde Modding. They're out of Texas. He did it. Great job. I'm also trying to get him to do another one. I couldn't get a response, but I'm also wanting him to install a Furtek Neo Geo SD loader. Furtek responded to an email saying, sure, I'll send an invoice, because I had been on the waiting list for ages. I've never heard back, so I'm still working on that. But one PlayStation 1 came in with leaves and roach shells and insect eggs all in it. I don't know. It must have been in a flood. It was terrible. Another one came very beat up, but of all these units, I've been able to kind of Frankenstein together a really nice model. But the games they came with were like this, which the case is cracked. There's fading. There's dirt on the case. So that's the kind of, or this gem, which looks like it's been in the sun for 20 years. That's the kind of goodies you're getting with PS1 lots these days. Not everything's a winner, including this one. So for my last video, I mentioned what games I was thinking of playing. I went ahead. I beat 13 Sentinels out of the newer titles. It was fun. I think I had just read way too much positive stuff about it. There's some plot holes in there, including one pretty big one because it ends up being pivotal to the story, and it's really brushed aside, and I could not really get my head around why something so important wasn't talked about. Well, I read in a few interviews that were translated, there are a lot of scenes that had to be cut for time and money, and that was one of them, which would have really helped. They go into a lot of detail on food and stuff, but there's one character in particular who's very, very important, and they are hardly mentioned, and they are pivotal to the plot. It's very strange that they would spend so much time on other things. I would also have chopped it down to like 8 main characters, because some of those they felt very much like duplicates, and their stories overlap so much they didn't have to be there, because on top of the 13, you have a bunch of minor characters, some secondary characters that are in there more than major characters. I don't know. I just felt like a lot of that could have been trimmed. And if you're a fan of science fiction and time travel and stuff, or that kind of cyclical thing, it's not new. I mean, it was fun, but yeah, in retrospect, it's pretty impressive what they did to keep it all together. But it kind of came apart at the seams at points. But it's still fun. I'd give it like a strong B. I also beat the original Kingsfield 1, the Japanese release. It's fan translated. I beat the U.S. Kingsfield 1. I went to go play the second U.S. one, but then I read it's like 3-4 times longer. So I jumped to Kalik, which I've always pronounced as Kiliak. And that's a game I've been wanting to beat since it came out in like 96. I had to cheat because it was impossible. You get 3 save files. Your health does not replenish at the end of a mission. Neither does your energy. And you need your energy to shoot most weapons. If you deplete either one of those, you're dead. And I had blocked myself into a corner basically where I didn't have enough energy, because you go down this hallway so narrow you cannot dodge bullets. And I was stuck. There's nothing I could have done. So I just found a cheat through RetroArch where I had unlimited shields, and I had to beat the last 2 or 3 levels like that. Fuck that game. That was so annoying. I mean, even harsh dungeon crawlers have some way for you to kind of balance out your health is replenished, or you find better armor, or you do something. This game has energy recharging stations, 1 per level, and that's it. And as you walk, you deplete energy. Everything about the game is infuriating. But I was looking into the series, and I had read that it got a little bit better with part 2, and people were saying part 3 was actually pretty good. So I bought it, and you can't see this, but this is completely yellow, and it is sticky. So I don't know what that is. It's gross. I try not to touch it. I have not had great luck with eBay lately. Pretty big disappointment. Although this is from eBay, but it's from Japan, so naturally it's in great shape. This is called Oyamasa Express. This, I have no idea what it is. I think it's a dating sim. That's not important. What's important is I'm a huge fan of Android Assault for the Sega CD, one of my favorite shooters. It's called Bari Arm in Japan, and in this game, there is a small homage to it. It's a very, very short and very repetitive mini game. I think it's called like Magi Arm. It's inspired by Bari Arm and another mech designer. So they took both names and put them together, and it looks really neat. It's just short and repetitive, but I'm a massive fan of Android Assault. So, and this was $8. This was dirt cheap. If you want to learn more, Hardcore Gaming, the Hardcore Gaming website talks a bit more about it. But yeah, only for big fans. I have to emphasize that even at $9, unless you can read Japanese and you really want to play a dating sim, it's not worth it if you're just kind of into shooters. On the more SNK front, I picked up, is this Pixel Love's Mark of the Wolves release for the PS4? They use the old snap cases. These are great editions. If you like SNK games, the art books are top notch. The packaging's top notch. Slightly lesser than that, but still pretty cool, is the Limited Run Games Last Blade 2 for PS4. I have Last Blade 1 on MVS, but Last Blade 2 was always a little too expensive for me. But still very cool to have those. I got this from NIS. Now, I've never heard of Saviors of Sapphire Wings before. However, what I have heard of is Stranger of Sword City. This is one of my favorite Japanese RPGs, one of my favorite PS Vita games, and it's a revisited version with extra content. So they sold 2 games in one bundle. So I believe Saviors is made from the same developers. So I am really excited to try that. If you haven't played Stranger of Sword City, there's 2 art styles. There's an anime-esque one and one that looks more like a traditional Western RPG. But because the Western style RPG art is done by Japanese illustrators, it's got this really awesome flair to it. It looks fantastic. Probably one of my favorite looking still shots in any games. Looks great. Finally, I got Paprium. This is still sealed because I don't even want to bother with it anymore. That was years getting it, and then I read the absolutely bizarre letter that came with it where the guy talks about AIDS and crap, and then I hadn't got the game after getting an email that had shipped, and I asked them, and weeks go by, and he sends, or I'm not sure if it was Fonzie or who, this weird response about how people on the internet want to take him down, and he won't be taken down, and don't listen to them. He was calling them weird names like tulips or something. I even read the email out to my wife. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy saying? It's just rambling. Instead of, sorry, your game is shipped later than expected, or the email went out prematurely. It's 2 paragraphs before he finally just says, if it says Las Vegas, it hasn't shipped yet. That's all you had to say, man. I don't need your bizarre, I hate the internet spiel. Just ship the game. And then I'm reading how it's good, but it doesn't like to work on a lot of systems, and whatever. I'll play it at some point. Yeah, that email and his bizarre letter ranting about everyone in the game really put me off to it. Like a lot of people, I picked up Aless 3. This is from Amazon Japan, so they sent this. I think everyone might have got this. It's a cool little magazine with art from the game. But not just that, they sent a second cover. Not really sure how to store this, but this is just a bonus they sent. Kind of like what the game would have looked like had they released it. So I thought that was pretty cool. They also have some promo art of a mock-up of a Game Gear box. That looked awesome. Really like that. From the same guy that I bought Resident Evil from, I picked up Ace. This is a From Software mech title. I've read that it goes downhill after this one, but that this one is really fun. So I'm going to fire that up in a bit. Currently, I'm playing Persona, the PSP version, but with the PS1 soundtrack inserted on through RetroArch. No one really liked the remade soundtrack because it didn't quite fit with the gothic tone of the original. I agreed, and so I'm about 20 hours into that, and I think it's about 30 to 50 depending on if you want to talk to everyone and all that. So having a good time with it. Still trying to decide what I want to jump into next. Also picked up King of Fighters Maximum Impact. It came in heavily damaged because the guy put it in a bubble mailer. The bubble mailer was, I would say, 75% ripped open in my mailbox. So it was already worn, but it became very worn in that process. And yeah, so thanks once again to eBay sellers not doing anything properly. Picked up a bunch of Switch games. 2 things to touch on. So in my last video, I had talked about, one was my cable company, how I went without the internet for a few months. I guess to make up for that, they sent me a $100 Amazon gift card. It was not a promotion. It just said thank you for being a customer, which I'm assuming is because they got reamed in our state capital. They had these bizarre answers where the representatives were asking, why are customers being billed when there's no internet? And their response was, our billing department can't communicate with the other departments. We have no control over that. And so naturally they would ask, it's your company. How do you not have control? And they had no satisfactory answers. AT&T went ballistic. You could call from your hotel while you're evacuated, and AT&T would be at your house and set you up with fiber optics within 2 hours. So people were getting together in neighborhoods, and they would call AT&T and say, hey, I'm talking to 5 people. Can you hook us all up? And as long as you called them in advance, they would bring enough equipment to hook everyone up. Unfortunately, I don't have fiber optic in this neighborhood yet, so I guess as like a goodwill gesture, they sent that. Additionally, I had mentioned a Kickstarter. It was the longest one I've ever been a part of. It's for a PS Vita graphic novel, or visual novel, and I said I couldn't believe they weren't finished yet. As late as December, they said it was on track. They actually canceled it and refunded my money, so I got... of course, they sat on my money for 5 years, but out of nowhere, I had this lump in PayPal that I could buy games with, so, I mean, that was fun. So I ended up grabbing the Grandia Collection from Limited Run. If this cat jumps in front of this thing, it's going to be some problems. I picked up the Final Fantasy 7 and 8 physical release for Switch. I've never played 8. This is going to be how I play it. I've now played one, going by, I guess, the Japanese numbering system. I've played 1, 7, 9, 10, 10, 2, 11, 12, 12, 2, 13, not 13, 2. I played 14. Wait, that's RPG. I played 15. So I'm working my way through them steadily. Wallachia from Video Games New York. This is supposed to be kind of like a Castlevania style game, or I guess Bloodstained is a more modern reference. I grabbed Bravely Default 2 just because Nintendo stuff is always a pain to grab after a while. Likewise with Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Super Mario 3D World is one of my favorite games on the system. I actually 100% completed it. So, yeah, excited to give that one a go. My wife never played it because she was not a big fan of the handheld, but only one. Oh, there she is. All right. I picked up Kentucky Route Zero. I had heard really good things about it, but now that it's finished, those have kind of gone to so-so in the sense that the way they wrapped up the story, people didn't seem overly pleased. I knew it. I knew it. She can't let me do anything. Do you want to, she's scaling. Look at that. Terrible. That's those are CPS2 games right there. If she knocks those over. God. My wife had to get her. I Am Setsuna. This is something I grabbed with the Amazon card. This has dropped in price considerably. It used to be really expensive. Stop it. And oh my God. This cat is killing me. And I don't have time to edit this, so sorry for all of this. Also picked up Cthulhu Saves Christmas. This was a discounted title. Cthulhu Saves the World was a pretty fun RPG on PC. And that's a really short RPG, but, you know, if you like Cthulhu, why not? I picked up this one, Suikoden Tierkreis, for $25. If you want it, go grab it now from Amazon. Good Deal Tavern, or Good Deals USA, is selling them brand new for $25. It goes for much more than that on eBay. Also off of Amazon for about $18 was Tales of Zysteria. I have never played this. I've played, was it Zysteria was the one with the woman, or V or B? I liked it a lot. I'm getting them mixed up now. Old age, man. It's a bitch. Another really cheap title I picked up, World of Final Fantasy. It came as the day one edition, so I'm guessing it didn't sell that many copies. I had seen some really, really positive reviews on that online, and yeah, it was about $18 as well. Not quite. I think this was about $25. I made good use of that gift card. Sakura Wars. This is also the launch edition with some little bonus content. I had read so-so things about it, but, you know, I like the series, and while they still had it new, I figured why not. Oh, here's the physical version of Aleste. This is what the cover looks like. So you can swap it out with the one I showed or keep that one. I'm just going to keep that one. Picked this up because I figured it would sell out. Ys 9. I still need to play Ys 8, but I'm a fan of the series, and I'll make my way through these. Now, here's a few more. I've read so many good things about these titles that I went ahead and grabbed both while I had the cash. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Atelier Ryza. I picked up 1 and 2. These were universally praised, so grabbed those. Those were going up in price. I picked up Persona 5 Strikers because I wanted the steel book from Best Buy before they went out of stock. Although I think the Switch version is still in stock, but it's neat how they give you both. They give you the case and the steel book. Now, this is a friend of mine really recommended this. Obra Dinn. No, boom. Okay, so Obra Dinn was a limited run game, and the first one I got had severe damage. It's probably gonna be hard to see because it's a black and white case, but there's a tear down the side here. And there's tearing along the top. I contacted them, and yeah, they sent me a brand new case. And this goes back to my previous video. So they went ahead, and I had a damaged copy of Monkey Island for Sega CD and Panzer Dragoon. They were able to send me a brand new Panzer Dragoon case, no cost. That was awesome. But Monkey Island, they could not source another copy, so they gave me a coupon, and it was a whole $4. So it's better than nothing, but yeah, that was kind of annoying. However, it is nice that I got those replacement cases. Now, next up are a bunch of titles from one retailer. They are out of Japan, and oh no, actually, let me show some of these bad boys first. Let me show these. Yeah. So, the only, or I think one, oh no, sorry. The Final Fantasy game was for Christmas from my wife. I asked for it because it was $18. And this was on sale for $30. And so I told her, like, hey, put something on my list. Go grab that, please. And it was a sealed copy of Shadow Hearts. This is for PS2. This was $24. I remember these prices because I was fitting most of these on that gift card. Chaos Wars. It looked fun, so I grabbed it. This was like $9. And this because I read, after I was playing Kingsfield, people were saying, oh, you should try Eternal Ring. So I got it for like $10. Kind of hard to get it in good condition. Not that it's expensive, it's just an older title. Saw this for $7. So I picked up Arc the Lad when I got Eternal Ring. I don't know if it was the same seller at the same time. Because this is the only bootleg MVS cart that I own, I picked up SVC Chaos for the Xbox One. Original Xbox. That naming system's going to kill me. Now, there is a company in Japan, I cannot pronounce the name. Bubbalon mentioned them, and I had just happened to have just bought from them. They're called like Suraga, I think. They're a retailer there that has just started shipping to the US, so I bought 2 bundles from them to test it out. I tried modern and old games. So first up is, they do sell some US games, and it's Bomberman Land. So this was $10, but unfortunately, if you probably can't see because it's clouds, but the bottom art insert had come out from behind the case, and it got really faded. Can you see that? Yeah, look below his feet. That white's, that's not clouds. That's the art's been rubbed off. And there is some brown on the top, which, you know, $10 isn't expensive, but if I was to buy that, I would have spent a little bit more to make sure I didn't have those problems. This is a game that recently got fan translated. This was a real good deal. This was about $7. Rogue Heart, is it Darkness? No, Rogue Heart's Dungeon. This was over $20 on Solaris Japan, plus another like 20 shipping. So I was able to get this for about $7. I'll put a link to the company too. This is Siren. Now this came out over here, but a few scenes were edited, so I picked up this for $7 to $8. And I'm a little, I can't give you the exact price because this is all in yen, and I think the the conversion rate when I bought it was like 90 yen to $1 US. The only problem with this one is you see at the bottom here, it's fading. The red has faded off and it's white. That's an eyesore to me. They don't make any promises when you buy the games. They just say, hey, they'll be in good condition. You know, we have no guarantee you're going to get any extras. We have no guarantee that you're going to get spine cards or pamphlets. They actually call them napkins. I don't know why. A thing makes they made a comment about machine translation. So I think they just use Google Translate to type in descriptions of things. So yeah, there is no guarantee you're going to get anything. However, you will have much better luck with more modern games that don't come with a lot of things, because I found that, yeah, with like 32-bit, you're really, it's 50-50. Or actually, it's more like 70-30. There's a good chance you're not going to get anything extra with it. Let me grab the last of it here. All right, so here's a bunch of stuff. A lot of these were really cheap, so that was cool. But I got the Sakura Collection of D. This only came with the manual. That is thing. You will get the manual. They will say if it doesn't come with the manual. So I got the manual with this one. Popolo Croy 2 did not come with anything but the manual. I love the art style on this though. That's great. But I'm pretty sure the PSP version has that included. I bought a bunch of demo discs because the prices were just absolutely dynamite. I'm talking $2 to $5. So Panzer Dragoon RPG, Clock Tower 2. I mean, these you can go on eBay, and these are 5, 6, 7 times the price they have them for. Because I guess to them, they really don't care. It's just demo discs. But, you know, to a collector, it's awesome. Real Bout for PlayStation 1. And actually, in a lot of cases, the most expensive thing was the shipping. I didn't know until Bubble said it was $35 to ship a box, but that's a flat fee. I thought that was the base fee, and they would add more the more stuff you added. So I was very hesitant. Had I known I was going to pay $35 regardless, I would have thrown in some more demo discs. This is a High Saturn magazine. There's only 17 of these, and now this is like my 5th or 6th one. These things were $20 on eBay, and they had them for, at most, it was like $8.50. This is another one from the same magazine. This is from issue 11. I picked up Rival Schools 2. Now, this is the exception to the rule. This came complete. Spine card, inserts, everything, and in excellent shape. Way better shape than the one I bought off eBay. This also came with a spine card. This is Capcom vs. SNK for the Dreamcast. I never had the original. Played it a ton, but I ended up just buying the sequel instead. Some Flash, Sega Saturn. Now these are also, if you go right now on eBay, you're looking at spending, you know, $20 to $30 a demo disc, and they had them for, like I said, at most $9. I think one High Saturn one, was that was a steel book, was $11. So just a bunch of demo discs. These are all just a blast to go through. Tech Saturn magazine, which is really hard to find on eBay. More Tech Saturn. This is from a fan club you could join. Sega released like 6 or 7 of these, so that's really good. This was a big disappointment. This is Clock Tower, but it's the First Fear. The First Fear is supposed to be a special edition that comes with a slipcase and an art book and all this other stuff. I thought maybe because the slipcase was kind of the point of it being the First Fear edition, it would come with it, but no, it only comes with the manual, and the manual's beat up. So this was probably one of the biggest disappointments. Sword and Sorcery has a fan translation, but it's got a really scuffed up dented manual. That was another one that was kind of a bummer. This came in fine shape. Didn't have a spine card, but you know, it's Virtua Fighter Remix. I think this might have came with something, did it? Yeah. So King of Fighters 94 for the Neo Geo CD, it came with the spine card, so that was cool. I tried to get Sword and Sorcery again from an eBay seller, also came in bad condition, so no good luck there. And this is from an eBay forum guy. He's the one that sold me Resident Evil. This is a really cool virtual on-light game for the PlayStation. So Project Gaire, definitely check that out. And I also bought a book from that same Japanese company just to see what they look like, and it actually came in really good shape. It's a Street Fighter Zero guide. Really good condition. So I would say, like I said, for modern stuff where you're not going to get a lot of extras, you're in really good luck. You might have some wear on the art insert. You might not. Older stuff, though, that's tough because you're probably going to look at some damage. Oh, and I will show these. I bought a few Super Famicom games to test out, and these all came with manuals, all came in really good shape. The only thing is some came with a little was not the plastic tray, plastic bag for the cart with the safety thing, and some didn't. But Front Mission 1, Treasure Hunter G, which I got to replace my cart that I had reprogrammed with the English translation, and Romance Saga 2. These stickers come off as well. Don't worry about that. They're not very adhesive. They have some magical stickers over there. But yeah, so if you're going to buy like a Super Famicom game, and I'm guessing Mega Drive, Genesis, you're going to be fine. However, if you're looking for something from like the 32-bit era, especially 32-bit era, when they would include not just the spine card, but a lot of times little art cards or inserts, promo things, you know, there's a good chance you're not going to get it. But I'll leave a link to them. Their service is good. It's still expensive. I just checked the other day. It's still $35. It takes a few days for them to get the items from their warehouse to their store. But then once they drop off at the post office, it's like 3 days. But yeah, now I got to put all this stuff up. Thanks for watching. Oh, I do have some games I'll give away. I'll give away a White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2. I'm giving away, what is that? Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There's an Ace Combat, Air Combat PS1 Classics in a jewel case down there. And what are we looking at? You know what, McFly, get in touch with me. I think I have a Limit Run blind box game I'll send you. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to everyone later.